Hey guys, it's Francisca. Thanks for joining me for your monthly guidance reading. So it is February of 2021. We're our second month into this year. And I don't know about you guys, but I have been seeing 222 everywhere, which makes me feel really great about February because January was a really fast moving month for me. Lots of energy. And so I'm hoping that February will be a nicer month where there's a little bit slower moving energy. And usually I like fast moving energy just because I am a fast talker and a fast mover, and things happen really quickly in my life. But I'm kind of feeling like I need a little bit of a respite, a little bit of a break, a little bit of some slowing down of the energy. So I'm hoping that this month will bring that. As usual, I do have 3 different readings for you to choose from. I am using 3 different stones for each of the readings. And I do have friends that take these readings and use one of the readings for each parts of their lives, or they use each reading for one part of their life. So they may use the first reading for like their love life, and the second reading for like their career, and the third reading for like maybe their creative or their or different parts of their lives, maybe family life. So you're more than welcome to use each of these readings for a different part of your life, or if you'd like, you can use one of these readings just to apply to your overall month. And so I will leave a timestamp in the description box below so you can skip to your reading if you wanted to go ahead and do that. And so the stones I'm using for this month are Black Obsidian for the first reading. And Black Obsidian is a really great stone to help remove negative energy, help for protection of those negative energies. And I don't really like using the word negative because like everything is what it is, and so I feel like there isn't anything bad or good or negative or positive, but sometimes we can feel bogged down and that energy may feel negative to us, and sometimes it can be hard for us to identify why we're feeling that way. And the great thing about this stone is that it helps for you to kind of recognize what those negative feelings are, and once you recognize them, then you can bring them to light, and when you bring them to light, then you can remove those energies that are really heavy away from you. And so that's what Black Obsidian helps to do. Second reading, I'll be using red Jasper, which is a really great stone for the sacral chakra. Black Obsidian is a really great stone for the root chakra. This stone, red Jasper, is really great for the sacral chakra, but it's also good for grounding, which is the root chakra. Sacral chakra is where, if it's healthy, we feel really creative energy. We feel ability to process feelings a little bit easier. And so this stone helps with stabilizing, it helps with grounding, it helps with stimulating creative energies, even sexual energies too. So this is a really great stone, again, for the sacral chakra. And then our third reading, I'll be using Tree Agate or Agate. I know it's called agate, but I like saying Agate because I like it. Anyways, this is a really great stone for the heart chakra. Any of the green stones, anytime you pick up stones, if you're called to something that's green, usually heart chakra related. And so really great for balancing that heart chakra, for harmonizing the relationships that you have outside of yourself and with yourself, because that's the most important relationship that you'll ever have is the one with yourself, right? And, helping you to connect with yourself honestly and also connect with other people honestly. And sometimes also helps with the throat chakra expression, but mostly for heart chakra balancing and confidence, instilling that confidence and honest self-esteem with yourself and that relationship with yourself. So if you're ready to get started, I am. So we are going to get started with our first reading, which is the Black Obsidian reading. And we are doing our current energy, our focus, and our guidance. So current energy for you is the Lovers. And I'm just feeling called to say right now with this reading that reciprocal energy really is important. With the lovers, you have this beautiful lady and beautiful man looking deep into each other's eyes. And if you're looking at this card, you can see that there is a light that's kind of engulfing both of them. It's very faint, but it's like kind of circling each of them. And it's the energy coming back and forth. It's the energy that, you know, balancing that energy of giving and receiving, that feminine and masculine energy. Feminine is more of a receiving energy and the masculine is a more giving energy. The feminine energy is more about nurturing, about taking care of self, about creating, whereas the masculine energy is about doing, manifesting, and bringing things into life. And you need both. You need both of those energies. And so that is where the word reciprocal is coming from. Reciprocal keeps like playing on in my head. And so making sure that you're reciprocating that energy with yourself, making sure that you're balancing that energy with yourself, because it starts at home. You have to be open with yourself first before you can open up to others. And I know when you're creating a partnership, when you're creating a relationship, that that openness, that open reciprocating openness really can help to build a solid foundation, because otherwise there might not be an even exchange of energy, an even exchange, and it may feel like you're giving too much or doing too much, or may feel like you're on the receiving end a little bit of things that don't feel very nice. And so your current energy is on building this relationship and building, being open to building a relationship that feels reciprocal and feels foundationally safe, and where you can open up your heart. And the focus for you is on the King of Wands. Mastering your creative craft, mastering that empire that you've built, taking that strength and resiliency that you've had inside of you and shining that light outside. I'm really feeling also that this is about making sure that you are, you know, kind of announcing and proud of yourself for doing these things. And maybe difficult for you to do if you're not used to doing that, but it's not about, you know, taking out an ad, you know, and saying, look at all the things that I've done, but more like leading by example, because the King of Wands does lead by example. He's like, hey, look at all the stuff that I've done, and I'm proud of myself, and I don't have to kind of, you know, like shout it in everybody's ear, but I do want you to know all these things that I've done, but it took time for me to build this. And so if this is your reading, staying grounded and rooted in your in your stabilization of the things that you've built. And then the guidance for you is the Nine of Wands. Don't give up. Look beyond your limitations. Sometimes we can feel, especially when we're building partnerships, when we're building relationships, and when we are building empires, and when we're working really hard, sometimes it can feel like we've reached our limit, that we've maxed out. But the Nine of Wands is here to tell you and remind you that you haven't maxed out, that there is still more for you to go. Sometimes it feels like when we've done everything, we feel like we've done everything. We feel like we've pulled from our inner resources, and we feel like we've built those harmonious relationships, and we've been open, that, you know, we can feel tired, which is just a sign that's saying that you're always going to want more. You are always going to want more, and you're always going to be at a different level. But be sure to celebrate yourself. Be sure to make sure you're getting that reciprocal energy, and be sure to take a little bit of break, but know that you haven't reached your limit or haven't reached your max. It's more about focusing on how you feel versus what you've accomplished, because sometimes how we feel can supersede what we've accomplished. Most of the times that is the case. So that's your reading for the Black Obsidian. So now we're moving on to the Red Jasper reading. Red Jasper, again, a really great stone for the sacral chakra, really good to help with creativity, stimulating confidence, and also motivation, and helping to have a balanced sacral chakra. And so let's see what we have for current energy, your focus, and your guidance. So if you pick this reading, you might be feeling like you have been taken advantage of unfairly. You might be feeling like somebody hasn't been very honest or treated you a little bit less than. And in the tarot, the swords are all about our thoughts. And thoughts are really great. They can help to cut through the muck and help us to move forward logically. But sometimes we can get stuck in our thoughts and anxiety and these loops of thinking that don't really serve us. Our thoughts are really helpful, but we also need to understand that we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. And that is, there's so many thoughts. And I think what I'm trying to say, or I feel what I'm trying to say, is that getting stuck in your thoughts can feel a little heavy sometimes. And if this is your current energy where you feel like somebody took advantage of you, it is okay to acknowledge it. It's always okay. All of your feelings are okay. All of your thoughts are okay. It's always okay to acknowledge your thoughts and your feelings. But when you let them ruminate and circle and circle and circle, it can be really hard to get out of that loop. And so the current energy is, feeling like you've been taken advantage of. And the lessons, you have to take those lessons and move forward with them and understand that sometimes things happen and they're not really fair, but if you can take them and use them as a lesson to move forward, then it can help you balance things out. And speaking of balance, the Six of Pentacles is all about giving and receiving, about being open and grateful for the things that you have. Because once you're grateful for the things that you have or appreciate the things that you have, it can be a little bit easier to move forward. Yes, somebody may have taken advantage of you. Yes, somebody may have done these things that were not very nice and not very fair to you. But placing your energy and focus on those things that make you feel really great, those things that you do have, and taking that energy and focus on those things that you do have, and moving your thoughts towards a more appreciative and grateful place can help put you in a position to get new ideas. And the Page of Swords is all about those new ideas. It's all about taking those ideas and pulling them in and manifesting them into something, or actualizing them into something that's tangible. So you move, if this is your reading, you move from these thoughts that are outside of you, that are outside of your control, move into a more grateful, appreciative state. And then you can move into the energy of the Page of Swords, which is more like taking those thoughts and ideas and pulling them into a tangible, actionable item. So that is the reading for the red jasper. And last but definitely not least, we have our Tree Agate reading. Again, Tree Agate or Agates. I'm going to just say Agate. I don't know. I keep saying agate. I don't like saying it that way. Tree Agate is a really great stone for the heart chakra. Really great for being honest with yourself and harmonious with yourself. And when you're honest and harmonious with yourself, you can open up your heart to other people and other things. So let's see what the current energy and the focus and the guidance is for you for February. Oh, so beautiful. I love it. I love it when I see really amazing cards, and I love it when they match what the stone is. So for your current energy, it is the sun. The sun has come out to play. You may have had a month like January that's been really frustrating and really feeling like it is fast-moving energy, but you are in the sun. You are shining. This is a beautiful card. It's a yes, 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 yes card. It's a basking in the glow of yourself, basking in that love of yourself, basking in appreciation, and it is feeling so open and so willing and so free. She is just free in this card. So your current energy, you might be feeling really great right now. You might be feeling really free. You might be feeling very, very open and very like, yeah, what else is next? Which is a really great place to be. And the focus for you is the Eight of Wands. Moving forward, fast moving, throwing the wand and then catching up to it. I think sometimes we sit and we wait and we wait and we wait. But this is not a card about waiting. This is a card of, hey, everything's being lined up for you. When you're open, things line up for you. When you're open, there is fast moving energy, and it doesn't feel like you have to work that hard for it. And the guidance for you is the Hierophant. Gosh, everything that you need is inside of you. You are your own guru. You are your own spiritual guidance. I think sometimes we can forget that the love that we're looking for has always been inside of us. And if we can come back into who we are, come back into our heart by taking these practices that help open us up. I'm feeling really called to talk about internal practices like meditation and breathing and breath work and yoga and things that are free. You don't need to pay anybody to meditate. You don't need to pay anybody to pay attention to your breath. You don't need to pay anybody to do some movement with your body that feels freaking good. Take care of yourself. Open up your heart. If your heart is already open, let it shine some more. Give yourself permission to feel love. Give yourself permission to feel your heart. When you give yourself permission to feel your heart, you open up the gates of abundance. You open up the gates of prosperity. You open up the gates of source connection. And when you open up that connection, you have that divine, inspired channel straight to connection, straight to source, straight to spirit, straight to whatever it is that you want to call it, your higher self, whatever. Straight to that source, that infinite source that is always available to you. That infinite source of love, creation, spirit, source, the universe, God, whatever it is that you call it. You are always connected. But we have to make sure we tune ourselves to that right channel. So that's your reading for February. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. If it did resonate, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love for you to tell me which reading resonated and why it did, so you can leave it in the comments below. And if you want to be nice and subscribe to my channel, you can do that if you like these readings. If you want to hear from me on a weekly basis, you can go ahead and subscribe to my newsletter. As always, the information is in the description box below. Till next time, bye!